Today, I'm going to give you guys my long-term review of this Mr. Heater 70,000 BTU garage heater. Ooh, it's hot right there. Dang, it's hot. Dang, how hot's my knee? It's still hot. Man, it's hot. Whew, that's hot. Jeez, that thing's hot. Since posting my initial video about this heater, I've had a lot of questions and comments, so I thought I'd help answer some of those questions, give you guys a few tips and tricks, and 2 years later, give you guys my 2 cents on whether this thing's actually worth the money or not. Spoiler alert, it's pretty awesome. I think I'm gonna maybe do it like a Yule log. We'll just set the heater up here and let it burn while I talk to you guys. I'm gonna leave this thing burn throughout the video too, so you guys can hear truly how quiet it is. And it's very hot, but also not. You guys get a shot of my kid's art over there too, isn't that nice? I lost my cheat sheet. Oh, it's in the sink. That makes sense. All right, I said it's very hot, but it's not. Check this out. You can see that. But the top end of this thermometer is 1,022 degrees. On the side here, it's 115, 125. One side was warmer than the other. I can't remember which. 96 as we get up here to the top of the unit, 86. 82 degrees, 85, yeah. The back of this thing, the sides of this thing does not get very hot for what's coming out of it. Because check this out. Remember, 1,022. Overheat. That thing's putting out heat above 1,022 degrees. I don't know what the top end actually is, but I'd say it's pretty hot. So real cool, Adam, you just showed us that a heater is hot. I show you that because I think it's important to consider what you're using this kind of heater for. A weekend warrior like myself is not in a shop 24/7 trying to keep a shop warm all the time. This puts out enough heat that you can bring a cold space up to a nice warm temperature fast. You need a lot of quick heat to make a space like this comfortable before you get done with your work. And then to that end, someone had commented before and said, it's expensive to run. Well, I'm burning diesel. You could burn ag diesel if you wanted and save about 40 cents a gallon that way. Obviously, cost is always a consideration, but you can either be cold or be warm. And for what this is, I don't think it's actually that expensive to run because you don't have to run it that long. If your space is insulated, you will not want this on all day long. You'll be run out of that building in short order. Yeah, it's crazy that I can just sit right here and it's not hot at all. Literally, I can hug it. But yeah, out there, I've never had an issue with it not starting. Every single time, it has always started up on the first try. And again, I'm burning diesel, so I don't know if kerosene or jet fuel, as they say you can burn here, would have an issue, but no issues with diesel. How often do I burn this thing? About 2 to 4 hours a week in the winter time, and that's probably a maximum. This thing's been on for, maybe 45 minutes to an hour right now, and I'm about ready to shut it off. It's getting very warm in here. The thermostat over there for the garage door opener says it's 55 degrees, and it's 10 outside. Obviously, it's not very loud. I'm using a wireless mic, but I'm sitting right next to this unit, and I'm sure you guys can hear me just fine. I've had a handful of people ask me about fumes and oxygen levels. Fumes are a lot easier to talk about because, well, you smell it or not, minimally. But as far as oxygen level, I've got a carbon monoxide sensor over on the other side of the garage. I've never had it triggered. I've never had headaches from being out here or anything like that. Back to how quiet this unit is. I was sitting out here, as most people do, with a rag, wiping this thing down for this video to make it look real nice and pretty for you guys. And my wife called me, and I was literally sitting right here, guys, with it on speakerphone. And I said, hey, can you hear me just fine? She's like, yeah, why? She couldn't hear the heater through the phone. Take my word for it, this thing is certainly quiet. I mean, it's got quiet burner technology, guys. I mean, it's got a sticker that says it's quiet even. That's impressive, right? As I mentioned in my first video, this thing has a thermostat on it, right? So there on the back, you can see that it's reading 43 in here. If you turn this dial to raise and lower the set temperature, so right now it's set at 50. So the thermostat on here bottoms out at 41 degrees. Some people have had an issue where they can't get their space above 41 for this thing to shut off, which, okay, fine, just hit the button. Technically, after this thing extinguishes, the fans will run for a few minutes to help cool the unit down, and that's the proper shut-off procedure. So if you spin this dial down to 41 and your room at the floor level won't get above, say, 39, you're kind of in trouble because you can't shut this unit off properly. Let me show you a little trick. Now, some people are going to say, that's ridiculous. This thing's a nice heater. Why would you have to do that? Here's a little trick. I have a Mr. Heater golf cart heater because, well, I have a golf cart behind me. And you can use this or really any kind of heater to do this. I got this thing going now. The air intake for the thermostat is right here at the bottom. So what I've done before, when I've only been wanting to run this for say 10 minutes and not bring it above 41 degrees, what I did was place this heater right here, and it's not gonna get the face of this too hot. You obviously want to stay here while you're doing this, but this will throw enough warm air in the back of this to bring the temperature up to what you need it to shut it down. So it's 45 now, let's just set it here and we'll leave it at 50. It won't take too long for this thing to start registering. Yeah, so you know, it's not as refined as your home thermostat, but it works. Great little heater too if you have a golf cart. This thing's pretty nice. Give you guys a quick shot here of the shutdown process. As I said, the fan is running. This front plate is cooling off pretty quick. Obviously I'm moving around a little bit so I can get different spots, but as soon as that flame extinguishes, it starts to fall pretty fast. And we're kicking back on. That smoke right there is all the smoke you'll ever get out of this unit. Upon startup, when the flame is, you know, getting going, beyond that, nothing. Very clean burn. You can see it go from kind of the black orange to that real bright orange once it gets to full temp. So maybe that helps answer the fumes question. There's none of that during active burn, only on startup. I don't know if you guys can hear my wife's pulling in the other garage bay. That's why you want to heat it like this, because the amount of heat that it puts out, it's going to be able to replenish that giant garage door being open for, you know, probably 15 minutes because you won't close it. Ooh, it's hot right there. This will warm it back up quickly.
Look at these cute shoes.
And it's cold. That's for me.
Yeah.
What's all this?
Stuff.
I shouldn't let you go to Target alone.
I had a great time.
I bet you did. You went to Target. Yeah. You guys have one of these? Ever since I got one of these things, dang, it's hot. Ever since I got one of these, I walk around just pointing at stuff, seeing, you know, how hot or cold it is. I feel like that's a very dad thing to do, or dude thing to do. Hi. This is the benefit of having patio furniture in your garage. I got tired of walking around, so I'd sit. I was just telling everybody on the camera how I like to just walk around and point this at stuff to see how hot it is or cold. It says OH, that means overheat. Alright, see ya. I might just sit here all day. This is kind of enjoyable. Although by the end of the day, they won't be coffee, it'll probably be cold beers. Is this the right heater for you? Well, answer this question for me. Do you work in a shop every single day? If the answer is yes, then no, this is probably not for you. You probably want, you know, a forced air heater you hang on the ceiling, or maybe even an old furnace wired to your shop. You'd want something that's more permanent in nature. This heater is great for the weekend warrior like myself. You can heat up the space when you need it, but it's not on 24/7 because, you know, diesel would get expensive burning it that often. And I got, dang, how hot's my knee right there? YouTube's hard. I can never figure out what the heck to say to you guys. It's still hot. But if you don't believe me, go to my other video I've made about this and look at all the comments. A lot of people out there commenting how much they love this little heater after they got it. The biggest open question people continuously have is the fumes and the oxygen level. Like I said, I've never walked away from this and said, man, I really feel lightheaded or have a headache. You can smell it a little bit. You're obviously burning fuel. But as long as you have some fresh air ventilation coming in, I've got a handful of cracks around my garage door. The side passage door's open. The big door's just open for 5 or 10 minutes. You're gonna be just fine. So buy it or don't, I don't care. I'm plenty warm myself. Guys, if you're on the fence, don't be. It's a great little heater. And actually, in a funny kind of small world situation, one of my best friends from high school just went out and bought this heater and said he was searching online to watch a video about it, and up popped my video. He had no idea I was doing this. So Scoot, I hope you're loving your heater like I am. Come by, grab a beer, and we'll sit next to our heater and talk about how awesome they are sometime. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. If you know me by now, this much sitting is more than I will typically do in a day. Lots of projects to get to. So, damn, that is hot. Whew, that's hot. Jeez, that thing's hot. So if you guys came to see the heater video, stick around for when I rebuild the transmission on the backhoe this spring. Man, I do not want to do that. Zero desire to do that. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button. Come back and see me, and I'm gonna go see how warm things are. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time. Let's see what this little guy can do. This little Mr. Heater, golf cart heater here, he cooks too. OH. Isn't that weird that fire is hotter than 1,000 degrees? Someone's gonna just torch me in the comments for that. Anyway, I wonder how hot I can get the inside of that golf cart. Might tend the two-man Taylor. We'll start with this, and then maybe we'll ultimately put that inside there and see what happens. I'm kidding. Kind of.